share update on the Afenyo Markin versus the Republic. Justice Sram Sai, Deputy Attorney General, at the update about on that particular issue. In the past, I spoke extensively about it. The assault involved Afenyo Markin and a police officer in a confrontation during the NPP demonstration are coming up. Your friend is saying the vetting of the acting Chief Justice is scheduled to happen this week. We've listened to a lot of commentary from the other side that people are seeking to subjected to a whole lot of nema in their thinking. They think something has gone amiss, and for that particular reason, that vetting should not go on. And you've listened to Afenyo Markin, who has publicly threatened so how he's going to achieve that, we are yet to see. And a number of development things, and we can take our time. The press conference by the NPP, Justice Kodua, who led that particular thing. I also can't say Akacho said this is a democracy. Obi take such a bold initiative, or can they hana? You don't need to impugn, you don't need to insult, but the best we can do is to tease out all the critical issues, fact in the near manner, and let the public know. And at the end of the day, we'll be able to review if these people are dishonest, whether they are credible, whatever. So at the end of the day, the judgment is for you to make out there, and that will go a long way to inform your political decision that will be making in the future. So Bakabakacho said, it is about time I ever try to, separate the fact from the chaff. Sabaya, the average Ghanaian will be served with information very credible. Until we generally would make political choices, political decisions, say you are on proper grounds. You are not just making political choices, political decisions based on emotions, whatever. So I think that is just by the way. So first of all, I think let me start with the latest. The Deputy Attorney General, and there on his Facebook page or post to here, and I'm sure most of you have seen it. Issue during the NPP demonstration, a number of issues about the confrontation between Afenyo Markin and the police officer. So Justice Sai and the Deputy AG and Echo Facebook page and Okochroy said, I can confirm that the docket on the case, the Republic versus Alexander Afenyo Markin, is at the office of the Attorney General, awaiting prosecutorial review and decision. The case involves a complaint of assault. So this is by way of your friend saying breaking news or the latest or whatever. And I've told you, yet your mind more. I think the principles now apply to Obiano should be equal, because we all saw the video, the confrontation, the way a leading member of parliament who's supposed to know Emra, I saw them Raya Juma. So Obi Kurana na off from us, police officer and acted outside the remit of the offense saying the 2 million or as a lawmaker or no moment or that security officer no adwen baso and now says a security officer no cry ye bibia contrary to emra as a lawmaker no wo and also offer kwan bi so na ordinal esi babia said emra the city, but to see a lawmaker in a public glare attempting to attack or assault an officer in uniform is quite inappropriate, and we've seen a lot of people who have suffered similar fate. So abra issue no bad, so people were saying dear nakwakwesi, but then thank God the Attorney General Deputy say official complaint has been offense, and the case go through prosecutorial review and make a decision as to whether to go ahead for the prosecution or not. Various consultations are going on, and very soon I think this particular case we will see it in court, because for the advances that it has made, I'm not sure there will be a reverse to go forward. So the general public will see Afenyo Markin will be facing the law. And ya witch hunting at the end of the day, ebia or also a proper defense. I'll bet to me, I can't church him why that particular thing happened at the end of the day. Obia kujina mranim now can deal way can the judges are the neutral arbiters who at the end of the day will make the final determination as to whether the panel before now on the phone. That is not idea me want to me to talk about it. So I'm not going to go into that particular matter. The essay can be we've run a lot of public commentary about it and why there is the need for people are or more occupy sensitive position and prominent position are people who are in a position of trust. A lot of people look up to them. Sometimes in a individual endeavor, in public way, we just need to, live a life where a bit me and my dear, or more tin chan or musia, who says something good be free mamba, and yes, in the name of partisan politics in Tina ya carbon, anything goes in. It's quite inappropriate, and I think that it is in that particular score and this particular issue. Then issue also I very, very important has to do with the press conference. Justin Kodua over the weekend, and his complaint and said the John Mahama government are weaponizing the judiciary, and the judiciary some sort of a toy that is tied to the apron strings of the executive. John Mahama government, and they are just manipulating, your friend is saying, intimidating judges and then I say for and when you hear something of this nature, I think that you will laugh, because if you look at where we are coming from quite recently, one of the major reasons Ghana for no more TMC and Kodua Bantu Akufo-Addo free so wasn't because Obi or party me at the bonnet here was because of some of these things are not air cost. So they rate the manner one of the most sensitive institutions are clothed power to adjudicate cases, then as a phenomenon became so much tempered with, to the extent that public trust and confidence in the institution wasn't there. For the first time, we saw a deliberate attempt by the president to pack a Supreme Court with individuals with known partisan alliances and affiliations. In as much as people argue, say they had a qualification or sort of, my culture say governance, the kind of your friends saying, Kwanya nipa faswa or more perceive the enterprise called governance are very, very important. So sometimes if you are doing certain things, a breaching that particular public trust, impugning confidence among forward the institution of government, at the end of the day, you are not doing yourself any good. And that was exactly what was happening at the time. For instance, judges are more appointing, I didn't have issue with any of them until one Justice Gau and the other Supreme Court. Obianim said he's a failed parliamentary candidate our whole central. At the end of the day, he got. And then the argument has always been so in the past, PNDC pen, so NDC pen. You see, the politics and and the Ghana have become overly sensitive to issues of politics. In the past, people were so much interested, especially young people. So today, the sensitivity, for an attachment, individuals war. Our politics, a heighten unless you are not ready to reason, unless you are not ready to think, or be a reasonable. Why not just so what say, and the public have become very sensitive to issues of politics. And as an executive, as a government, you should be very mindful and be very watchful of your words, your tone, actions, inactions, omissions, and actions. You need to moderate it in such a way, say, within the space of public trust and confidence, you will not appear to have, exercise power, be arbitrary, and as a power be when you said we didn't say, we said all these things, but the government at the end of the day never listened to anybody. And we had instances where issues you could virtually predict the outcome of the cases. As social media. The judiciary became a subject of public mortification on various platforms, among for a ridicule. The one of the most revered institutions, and the judiciary, unanimous this, unanimous that, to the point that people were even suggesting, say, Yamfa judicial Supreme Court ruling and Koto betting up so because you could just predict the outcome. These are near manner impunity because of their not air cost kroma. Adia betty. And your friends are dear home or this desperate attempt by the executive say obey intrude into your friends say parliament using Tokono Supreme Court and the rate at which ultimate panel judges a day after on Friday, which conventionally we all know said Supreme Court and Tenase the lightning speed with which Mami will constitute a panel to hear the case and Speaker of Parliament or suspended some 4 members of Parliament. We saw the lightning speed. At the same time, Now there were equally sensitive, very relevant issues pending. And Ghana for was so much interested, expecting the Chief Justice and her team. But so the whole scenario that played out at the time looked like the government of the day, was in bed with the executive, and they're just manipulating them, using them as some of maybe to achieve their political goals. Then as a forum. So at the end of the day, this and many other things rendered the judiciary so dirty and so filthy to the extent that Ghana for never had any trust in these institutions. This is the background we are coming from, and we saw instances where some, at the basis of some flimsy excuses, individuals were being charged with some way. Mekai Oliver, yes, what in social media actual idea way ya, and no, a treasonable actor, and no, or call home court to call ya. Galamsey, we saw what happened. Me and several other people were doing demonstration. Chiomoko Guma court deny bail on 3 different occasions. Oliver at the time was sick. He was denied bail until Abamfosha protested. So the court was virtually being used as a political tool to do all these dirty things. And Kodua, maybe at the time, no China, maybe not Isabi. Baby, he didn't know what was happening, and this person today has the moral audacity to do a press conference and be telling people, say, John Mahama Baye. All that Ghanaians are asking from him is to prosecute the very criminals. There are a lot of decent individuals in the NPP. Nobody will come after you, and we cannot sit here and conclude say MPP is being chased. And yet those who stole our money with impunity, those who foolishly appropriated state funds, with a greed intent, the state, investigation going after them. So this your friend say conclusive statement by saying say government which hand why and which hand to me the government has a legitimate case. Hanani ya kwatena buffer stalker. Niamo ye enti ote now even we are Ghana near aside being MPP. Don't you feel ashamed? Say in your own government somebody sat there and foolishly caused such your friend saying took such sums of money. This abaya tete your national service ya chrono be a wokrum here bia ni din wo be gift your worry. Such a young lady, look at her crafts in theft. They were operating with some just like and don't you feel ashamed? And you have the audacity to get out there to say Jamahama Baye, why na wa banda or not and to prison. Prosecution Ankasa Crown started most of the cases in Ankasa and Shadan take shape. And at the preliminary stage where the various security agencies are conducting investigations just to build the case to ensure they can build something solid to go to court. And he said, your press conference, and now I will assure him, on saving the energy. Because time of a press conference, because the prosecution will very soon kickstart. And will be on your file, so you did something. I will never sit here and support your Mahama government going after individuals who did nothing. And I say, going after individuals. John Mahama or not cry or need time for that because Nippon who we are, there are so many to the sense that on your time to be chasing individuals of 1 year. And I will say to me when I have and if the idea is to which hand the MPP, John Mahama will target valuable individuals with political capital, not Untumi. Untumi has no political capital, zero. Or no party no can who be or Tibo to cry free. So no political strategist ever map up a plan so or be destroy a political party. He will target somebody like Untumi. And there's another political strategist and said be agreeing in the team. So this is not witch hunting. This is the state machinery at play, making sure that the very individuals are what don't sabo mind come dear. You because at the end of the day, if John Mahama failed to do that, Ghanaians are going to punish him because Ghana gave him power at the back, say, take this power, go and punish these criminals who have stolen from us. So at the end of the day, if he fails to do that, Ghana will punish him. In as much as he may not come back again, his name in history, will be indented and the description Ghanaians will add to it, and that will be up to him. So all that I'm saying is the government of the day the government of the day, sorry, the government of the day, proceed, and the activities is in line with the Ghana for a catch and say on ye. So we get demonstration and we get protestation and I don't know, not change anything. These are, some sort of an emotional blackmail. Yes, that are shouting just to wall off everybody, just to psychologically intimidate the government. So I know the day, even if you have legitimate grounds to go after the people, they will tell you, so, oh, he's witch hunting. But hey, this is no witch hunting. The game is about to start. We are NPP, we are your friend saying former government appointee. Don't worry. Stay wherever you are. Ghana, one people. Nobody will, out of hate, will go after anybody. No. I know that if the state even come after somebody on your share, some of us will rise and also defend you because. But why you born there? The same way I defend your mom when you're born, the same way we will defend the state and the government to go after these people because we cannot live in a country where certain unwitting individuals, certain, your friend saying, rascals in the name of political power will just capture power and use it in anyhow. I know the day, message when I send it to young people, or my yet good. So look at poverty. And for me, that's my motivation. So it has never been about individuals. Individuals are inconsequential. It's about protecting the system and establishing the conventional red lines that will ward people off. That will tell people, say, Ghana, political corruption has consequences. Unlike in the days, ye jatu ho biya ba or ye di ope, we NPP ni and out in China. Can oforata di oye wenije. Just imagine the whole prominent finance minister and there on to be money krum, on the papa na waya going to be money krum. Because John Mahama is not the type of because of which until they will allow the law to take its course. So as a finance minister and papa because of Bonnie wedding, that tells you the nature of the people we are talking about. So don't lump yourself in. That, like I'm saying, there are decent people, prominent people in NPP who are not involved in some of these things, and nobody is touching nobody. You understand? So the very people who took 8 years to commit such financial atrocities, such crimes against the state, they are the people the state is after. And we will make sure, say, every one of them will have his day in court. Thank you very much. Subscribe to this channel. This is Ivan Che, Innocent One. God willing, tomorrow, the second part. I catch you, say, subscribe, join us, and let's have a conversation. This is going to continue, and the setup will very soon finish. Thank you very much.